Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to meeting 44, January 18th, 2022. Um, we are excited to have you all. I don't see any new faces, but just a quick reminder to those catching this later, there's a code of conduct uh, that can be found in our Tinkerbell agenda that I just posted into the Zoom chat here. Yeah, please do feel free to put your name in there. And if you do have any show and tell or topics, please feel free to throw them in there right now. All right. So moving on, show and tell. Is there any items or things anybody wants to bring up for that? All right. No worries. Moving on to topics. Today looks like we might fly through this one pretty good. Please do add some topics. I have one in there, and I guess I'll kick us off. Governance. So we've had a governance model out there for a little bit, a few months maybe. But we haven't been following it too well. So I have a proposal to bootstrap this, right? And what that means is to get people into the right roles and to add the permissions and make everything work the way we proposed it and accepted the proposal. So I do want to post this link in the Zoom chat. Here is a proposal for bootstrapping, and this is bootstrapping only, right? So we've already got the governance kind of out there, but the idea here would be just to get us going. And so what that means creating a bunch of new GitHub teams, I guess, with specific roles that can do certain things, creating the owner's files and repos, and then obviously putting people into these positions. If you're looking at the doc and you look down, there is a table that I've created that is the proposed roles. And this was based off of data taken from DevStats. If you look at the top of the doc I posted, there's a link to the compiled data, as I call it. It's another Google Doc or a spreadsheet. And at the top of that one, I've got a link to a gist where I have a query of how I'm getting it. So hopefully it's all kind of open and out there, but it is just from DevStats. And we are able to do arbitrary dates. And so these numbers were taken, I think, last week. But it does cover the last 8 months and just kind of gives us an idea of who's contributed where and in what. And then based off of that, I kind of, I sprinkled in all the different repos and who I thought would be good candidates for all of these things. And a couple of things to note, these will all be invitations, right? So none of this is like, hey, your name's on this list, you therefore must be this role. Like, man, it's just, these will be invitations. Hopefully we'll get people interested to want to participate in these roles. And there is a small little FAQ at the bottom that says like, hey, what if I don't get the role that I wanted? No problem, just throw your name in the hats. We already have the governance out there. Just follow those. This is hopefully just a very quick way to get us up to speed in terms of our governance. But I do want to throw it out there today, get feedback. This is just a proposal at the moment. And if anybody had any thoughts or comments or suggestions, much appreciated. For those of y'all that just joined, I just started to talk about bootstrapping governance. I posted a link. Let me post it one more time in the Zoom chat here. Oops, there it is one more time. This is just a proposal at the moment, just to bootstrap our governance. But I am looking for any thoughts or feedback or suggestions, jokes. Micah, what's up, man?
Yeah, I think this is great. Thank you for doing this. I think as far as like bootstrapping, to anyone else, tell me I'm wrong, but to me, this sounds good. I think particularly that this is just based on data that you gathered. Like we have our governance. This is what the governance says. So this is as good a place as any to get people added. I think as I'm looking at the governance now, I think two like minor, this is not what you asked, but two minor suggestions are like, like the committer requirements are like 20 substantial PRs to the code base. That seems a little high. Maybe I'm off on that, but like substantial is a squishy word. And so I don't know what that means exactly. And that's fine if it's squishy, but maybe we can firm that up a little bit to say like lines of code is hard, like not necessarily the best number, but yeah.
So if it's going off of dev stats, it's a little bit more than just lines of code. It also includes things like issues and reviews and stuff like that as well. It's not perfect, but it is better than just, number of PRs or lines of code.
Yeah. I'm just more commenting on the spirit of it rather than like the dev stat number. Just like 20 PR seems like a very high bar to become a committer, which maybe we want to keep a high bar, but yeah, that's just one point. And then we might want to, it's not that we have to do it right away, but I'm just thinking about like I think you added, Jacob, a comment on like inactivity, or maybe that's still in a PR. Yeah, I think that's still in your PR.
Yeah, PR and in the Google Doc.
Right. And that, I don't know if we had like either a grace period or a notification prior to just like politely ping people before we just remove them. Not that I don't think we, weaponize governance at all, but just like in the spirit of like help, I had a kid, I had, injury, whatever, like someone's inactive so that we can like have accommodations for those kind of things.
I like that. Yeah, I'll add a little blurb about that. I like that. One quick comment on your first one. So I actually had thought about this. We actually talked about it, right? And so I did update it. Let me post this that PR that I had that was originally around inactivity. I actually updated it, and I actually changed some of the names of the roles and added a new role. So I did it. I changed this committers, and I kind of just followed the upstream Kubernetes a little bit closer. I changed it to approvers, and I added a reviewer role. And I guess real quick, one of the reasons I did this was when I started to break out in the table of like who could do what, we only had committers and maintainers, and that list was so tiny. And I was like, we need more people involved. Like there's just not enough people had committed or like contributed at least 5 changes to a repo, and so like I just saw it being a little bare, so I actually went back with the Kubernetes and like I'll add this reviewers, and that for me filled out the table of like who can do what quite a bit better, and it made it feel like I actually personally I like this idea of like being a reviewer without having the permissions to change the repo quite yet, right, with the stamp button. It's a nice like gradual ladder that I felt. Obviously, the Kubernetes community has done well, right? They've been doing it well. So I thought, it might be a good idea. So I threw it in there. And then as I built out that table, I found, there's quite a bit more people. And this will help us to still move along what we have and not cut so many people off in terms of what their current permission level is, and still get people involved. So yeah, if people wouldn't mind, I did update that PR. There is a couple new roles, names changed, etc. But and with that, sorry, to ultimately respond to what you had said, Micah, so it goes member and then it goes reviewer, and the reviewer was you reviewed 5 PRs, you were the primary reviewer, and you also reviewed 10 additional PRs, I guess, or I don't know if it's additional, but just 10 overall. So some of those numbers down now, I still don't know if 5 and 10 are actually adequate numbers. I feel like we can change those, especially based on just kind of like what we start seeing. If we want to get more people involved, I feel like, let's just drop those if it makes more sense. But so at the moment it is 5 and 10.
That was exactly what I was just going to say. Like they're not fixed numbers. We can have them lower if we just feel like we want to get more people involved in the project. And as we have more, we can start to raise that a little bit. just based on volume. But if we have such a high bar that it's like, I can't, like, I'm a new person and I can't reasonably get involved because it just seems like a mountain that I can't climb. That's not what we want.
Yeah, 100%. Appreciate that. Any other thoughts or comments or opinions?
The one quick thought I had is, I wonder if the removal of inactive members, if there's a way to sort of make it eat. So like one option is to be hesitant to remove people. The other option is be quicker about removing people, but make it easier to get back in if you were previously in and were removed. I don't know exactly a good way to formalize that, but that's the thought I had.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that as well, Micah. Let's not automatically just kick people out. Ooh, that's a cool idea. Boomerang rules. Yeah, kind of like that. Like some kind of like special. If you were just recently got kicked out, you can kind of short circuit some of the membership to get back in.
Yeah,
kind of like that. Okay. Yeah, I'll yeah, appreciate it. This is great feedback. I will update some of this around inactivity. I do like this. Appreciate all that. The one last thing on if you don't mind, I had one more. I don't see anybody actually on here that has a owner role in maybe I'll reach out to Dan or somebody else or Marky. I need help to do all this. Like, I don't actually have permissions to change anything here. So I guess I will reach out to Dan or Marky. They look like they seem to be owners in the repo. But yeah, if I know this isn't, I don't know if this is quorum or not, but like I feel like I kind of want to start moving forward on this if people are all good. If anybody's so inclined, please do check out the PR that I have open. Let me post a link real quick. PR 50 and proposals. Feel free to chime in, approve, or feedback, whatever it is, and then I'll ping one of these other folks to get moving on some of this. So
I think one other thing you could do is just tag all the people who you're proposing to add in this PR. Just like, hey, FYI, you're getting added into this role. If you don't want to, we'll drop you off of it.
Yeah, I like that's a good idea. Thanks. Yep, I'll do that. Sweet. All right. Thanks y'all for that feedback. Appreciate it. Moving on, we've got Micah code review on. There's so many little curses. I can't see what number that is. 63, 53?
563, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I've responded to all feedback. So I guess Marcus and Manuel are not here. So I'll just ping them on Slack.
Okay.
Or if you all have direct contact with them, can ping them for me too.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, any other topics, thoughts to bring up? All right. I did look at the triage board. We don't at the moment look like we have any items up for discussion. So yeah, if there's nothing else, well, I guess we can close. Anybody have any last thoughts or items? Sweet. Just quick reminder, next week, same time, we will have triage party. Great place to learn about all the different repos and get involved. No experience required. So thanks y'all for attending. Have a great week and see y'all later.